Hello and welcome to Chaos Champs, the Chaos Reborn competitive stream. My name is John Stabler and joining me on the stream is Chris Jarvis. Say hello, Chris. Oh, Chris doesn't want to be here. Never mind. No.
Hello.
Hello, Chris. I don't know what happened to you there. I don't know why you disappeared off the call.
No. I think, I'm not sure if just the whole call hung up.
Oh dear. So that's the technical difficulties for this week over and done with, hopefully.
Let's hope. I just suddenly thought, because I was listening to the intro music on Twitch, and I was thinking, we're getting very close to the end of this music, and John's not talking to me yet.
Yeah, so sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I don't know. Do you know what I think it was? I think Ben was hosting the call. The guy,
right.
One of the competitors. So when he hung up our call and none of us noticed. Great.
Brilliant.
The wonders of Skype. So anyway, welcome to Chaos Champs. This week we're doing something a little bit different. This week is Noob Week, featuring two novice players. Well, I noticed that the way you've been promoting it on the Chaos forums and on the Facebook page is you've been quite openly calling it Noob Week, so I thought we'll just run with that. So
that's what I called it on Facebook and Twitter. I was a little bit more, I was a little bit ruder on the Chaos forums, where I referred to it as blindfold monkey knife fight.
Yeah. So, I mean, we've been mixing things up. We went down to the 1 minute turn timer, which proved really popular. And so we're actually going to try and do it with two novice players, because that actually might have more entertainment value for the audience. I don't know.
So we'll bear this in mind if we do if we ever do a charity stream. This is the sort of thing. No, it'll be fine. I suppose a big difference this week is because these guys are sort of comparatively inexperienced, although I do notice on Steam that Fozza has quite a lot of hours racked up technically. Neither of them have actually put together any equipment for a wizard, so we are playing classic Chaos tonight.
Yes.
Which does lead me to kind of wonder, because we are presenting this thing as a kind of an esports approach. What are we going to talk about, John?
Well, maybe we can do it from the angle of what not to do or something like that. We're just going to see what happens.
Absolutely.
We're just trying things out. So what we'll do then is we'll introduce the competitors. So first up, the first competitor is the host of the Lave Radio podcast, the main host himself, Chris, Second Tech Fozza. As you said, he actually has played quite a bit of Chaos, if his Steam profile's anything to go by. He just hasn't seemed to have played the Realms mode or much competitive games, in League or anything like that to actually get any gear. I think he just plays loads of private games. So
maybe,
so
or
he's only going to be as good as the people he's played. So
yeah, or maybe he just leaves the client running for a long time, and Steam's been counting.
Yeah,
he left it on one weekend or something.
Yeah. He knows how to play. It's whether he's played enough to pick up all the tactics. And our second competitor is Lay Radio's head of health and safety, Ben, also known as Eloise. So Ben has played it with us a few times.
Yep.
He does know what he's doing. I don't think it's going to be slaughter or anything like that.
Yeah. Did he take part in the Lave Con Chaos tournament? I can't remember.
I can't remember. It just seems so long ago.
Mm.
I can remember the winners, and that was about it. So sorry if you did, Ben. I don't know, just assume that he did, but maybe he went out really quickly.
Maybe. Considering I don't even remember my matches.
No, neither do I. We'll ask him later.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting, because there's not going to be any, we're not going to have to explain any, anyone using any of their talismans or anything like that. It's just going to be pure strategy with the spells in front of them. So I think it will be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will give them the message, and we will join them in game.
Grand.
He says, as he's wondering where the game is.
Is it 324642?
No, I think that would be a. Well, it's been running for 906 minutes, so I don't think.
Oh, 331206.
I'll just let him input the details and join. Ah, there we go. So now we can join them. So, what we haven't done is we haven't done our weekly bet where we say who we think's going to win.
Okay.
So,
well, you go first. I mean, I can't guarantee I won't pick the same one.
well, I won last week, so it's up to you to pick.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd say probably Foz has got the edge, just in terms of, he has played quite a few games, and even if perhaps he hasn't played the single-player game and racked up talismans and things, that doesn't mean that he's not necessarily, reasonably experienced at classic mode. So I'd have to favour Fozza this week, I think.
You're going to bet your unicorns on Fozza, right? Well, in that case, I'll be backing Ben.
Okay. So Fozza, they're opening with a unicorn. I've played Fozza. If that's a real unicorn, I'll be amazed. I don't think he ever tries to cast real creatures. I think he just. And I wouldn't. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if Fozza isn't sort of relying slightly on Ben's slight disadvantage in terms of not knowing the game so well. I think Fozza's probably going to be aware that he can slip illusions under Ben's nose, and Ben might not notice.
I don't know if Ben's watching the stream, picking up on that advice you're giving him there.
Well, that'd be bad form. Ben has moved into what we like to call sudden death range. It's really a case, I suppose, of Fozza's wizard has a 33% chance to hit Ben there. It'd be interesting to see if Fozza decides to take that shot.
Well, he doesn't have line of sight at the moment while that mountain of sprites there.
No, but Fozza could walk up with the wizard. That's what I mean. It's a risk. He'd have to come off his unicorn to move that mana sprite out the way and take that shot.
So, well, he's going for the Shadow Word, which is a defensive spell.
Yeah, it's certainly going to restrict the any means of access that Fozza has to Ben's half of the map. It's not. I don't think. Well, the height is pretty good, but I don't think those shadow trees are going to be troubling anyone up on that higher level.
No, they're not. So he survived the eagle attack there.
Eagle strike.
Yes. So he's a bit lucky. Eagle's been known to take people out very quickly. I should know.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I say, I think for any new player, the kind of running towards the centre of the map thing is a thing you very quickly learn not to do. And I wonder how much. Ed's got about, according to Steam anyway, Ed's got about sort of 7 or 8 hours in Chaos. And I'm guessing, if you've been playing a lot of single player, the arenas that you face the wizards. Oh, that was unlucky attack on the eagle there. the arenas where you face the wizards in single player actually tend to be very large and tend to put you quite a distance away from the AI wizards. And also the AI wizards tend to be very evasive and generally don't move towards you. They're not very aggressive the way that human players are aggressive at the moment. So perhaps maybe that's where a lot of Ed's experience is coming from. Oh, okay, the unicorn is real. So apologies to Ed if you are cheating.
Yeah, well,
listening to
you've
the
just cost him a turn. So
if he's cheating and listening to the commentary, then that is. Oh, and there's the eagle sucker punch.
So maybe we might be going best of 5 at this rate.
Yeah, I'm feeling good about my prediction for this week, though.
Oh, come on! That means I'm going to have to start putting in, some tips for betting or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the guys are just asking.
Yeah, they've got a game going. It's cool.
Okay, awesome.
So, is Ben going to be more cautious this time round?
Indeed. Essentially, one of the things we were commenting on when we were playing some classic in the week, weren't we? And one of the things that's a more recent change to the game that's certainly changed from earlier versions of Chaos Reborn is that now every wizard in classic mode is equipped with the same staff. You used to get, I think back in the days when there were only 3 staffs to choose from, there was the Chaos Law and Neutral staff, wasn't there originally? And I think when you joined Classic Match, you would randomly be given one of those 3.
Yeah.
And actually now, and I'm not entirely sure, in the sort of history of the game exactly when that changed, because I've not personally played Classic Mode for quite a while, but now the stats, the base body gear and staff stats for both wizards are matched. I think the only thing that's different and random is the mega spell that gets allocated to each player. So Fozza has got Percussion of Giants, and Ben has got Rattle of Skeletons.
Yes.
So there's a slight mana imbalance there in the sense that Rattle of Skeletons is 58 mana, and Percussion of Giants is 52. So it's not, there's not much in it. But if you were to look at it from the point of view of the equipment being completely matched, there is a very slight imbalance.
Fozza picking up a tip from me, getting that eagle out early. He's died to many an eagle, I can tell you that much. So he has learnt.
And Ben's been very unlucky. 2 unsuccessful casts in a row.
Yeah.
So look at this. That eagle's got a 53% shot on Ben at the moment, and it's hard to see where Ben can walk to that's going to, get him out of that range.
Well, at least he's reduced the chance to 11
he has.
now.
Yeah, he's drastically reduced it.
So it just goes to show the difference that height on the map can make to chances.
Oh, completely.
Chris feeling a bit skeptical about that.
So the question really is whether Foz will bother taking the 11% shot on the eagle. I don't think I'd waste it because the eagle is so weak in terms of defense. If you bring it in and it doesn't take anything out, then the chances are it'll be lost on the next turn. I mean, it's got a 33% chance on that unicorn, which potentially be worth sacrificing. But it's, unless you're very lucky, it's not worth taking the hit on Ben.
One thing I'll be interested to ask them is, I don't think they've ever played with a 1 minute turn timer before, so it'll be interesting to see how much it's affected their game or how they coped with it. Yeah.
So Ben's moved forward for the mana sprite. He's not made his situation with the eagle any worse. Perhaps as long as he fills up that space next to him somehow.
Which he didn't, so it's now up to a 20%.
What's he doing? Okay. Yeah, see, if it was me, I'd have put the unicorn on the other space. Whereas now, the eagle has a 20% option on Ben, which again isn't overly tempting if you're playing a long game. But let's see. And a lucky escape there from for Ben. But yeah, there's a good chance. Oh, Ben there in range of the magic bolt, but lucky. I should say very lucky.
Yeah, that chasm's quite deceiving, isn't it? But,
it is quite deceiving, yeah. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, so Fozzer is the unlucky one there, because...
that must have been 75%.
He didn't move back out of range, so... I guess if Ben's got a magic ball, he can throw one back Fozzer's way. Okay.
Taking his chances on subversion. Eagle, not a bad unit to try and subvert, actually. It tends to be... It's one of the reasons I don't really favour using casting eagles, particularly, because I tend to find whenever I've got an eagle that it always seems to get subverted back against me. So I don't even like bringing them into the game if I can help it. Unless it's a map, like this one, where there's a lot of height advantage to be had. So I'm interesting to see how this round progresses now. Fozzer has used what is presumably his only magic bolt. We'd have to assume that in a classic game that he's unlikely to get more than one. Ben presumably hasn't had one appear in his hand yet. Otherwise, he may have taken the return shot before moving out of range. So there is now this gulf of space between them. And I think it likely that we're going to see a bit more of a protracted conclusion to this than might otherwise have happened.
Yeah, quite often this particular arena it turns into a bit of a merry-go-round with whoever's got the advantage chasing the other person round.
Yeah.
And wow.
Yeah. So a very commanding position there for Fozzer with Percussion of Giants. I would suggest that Ben either needs to seriously think about moving out of range, or needs to take advantage of that height and hope that he can, utilise either the slightly quirky line of sight rules, or try and cast something around him to block those incoming shots.
Yeah, I think he needs to get out of there and seriously consider the disbelieve.
No, but that's the mega spell. I don't think you can cast the mega spell.
Yeah, no, you can. You can.
Really? Okay. Oh, there you go. See, I think this is the disadvantage I have, because I tend to use mega spells that are things like Gooey Blob or the upgraded bow and arrow. You tend to find that I tend to have mega spells that can't be cast as illusions. It's interesting there that Ben didn't disbelieve the remaining giant. Had he already cast? I think he must have done.
Yeah, that dwarf. Of course, as long as Ben, if he disbelieves it and it is an illusion, which we know it is, he will have another turn to cast another spell.
Absolutely. It's just a shame it's cost him one of his dwarves.
So, I mean, Fozzer has managed to get a kill even after being busted for an illusion, which is always interesting.
Yeah. I suppose that's the voice of experience. I mean, that's where sometimes it's always worth making your melee strikes before sometimes choosing to cast, just in case anything like that is revealed. Although I guess sometimes the results of an unsuccessful cast may dictate what you then do with the rest of your units.
Indeed. So Fonzo retreating slightly, maybe considering trying to take that other mana sprite now. Oh dear, oh dear, I don't know why Ben's done that. He didn't disbelieve the giant.
Yeah, that's an interesting. That's the that's obviously the inexperience.
The luck of the beginner's luck as well.
Plus, I've spotted Fozzer in the Twitch chat room, so in the viewer list. So there's a good chance Fozzer's listening to the commentary. If you are listening, Foz, you're cheating. Stop listening to the commentary.
Well, I think Ben can't be listening because otherwise he would have disbelieved that giant.
It's very true.
Getting pro tips, Foz, for free.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and see another thing here that Ben is potentially unaware of is that the lion has this ability to jump down multiple heights.
Ah, the leap.
Yes, indeed. So the lion not only has the chance to jump off that ledge and take a strike at Ben's unicorn, but I believe it gets a slight, in fact, double. Looking at the description, its attack strength is doubled if it attacks leaping off a ledge.
Wow.
So,
well, that would explain. Was it 67%?
Yeah, it's very good. I mean, the lion has pretty solid attack anyway, but yeah, that's a good stat. Ben's still in range, unfortunately, of the lion.
It's just a shame that Fozzer doesn't have another, like a ranged unit like an elf or something, that you could get a second shot on Ben after the lion takes out the unicorn.
That's right, yeah. Although, I suppose a wizard on foot wouldn't be able to outrun a lion in any case, but yeah, tricky. Okay, so that's looking at the lion's range now. The appearance of that goblin has at least, stopped the lion from being able to move to melee range to Ben's unicorn. So hopefully, if Ben's cottoned on yet, he now has an opportunity to move well out of range.
Well, it looks like Foz has made his way to that mana sprite, so...
I think Foz is using... I mean, he's already had his Mega Spell once. I think Foz is using the Mana Sprite as an excuse to do a Brave Sir Robin.
Oh dear. Well, I don't know if he's going to be running out of range of that lion now.
Just. Because I think the lion can only leap down to an adjacent square. I don't think it can leap and then move. So any hex that Ben moves to away from that edge is going to provide him some level of safety. Except for the one immediately next to him. He wants to. Do you know, for a weird moment there, I thought he'd cast Disbelieve on himself. Very unlucky to fail a teleport.
So yeah, he failed those spells at the beginning of the round, which seriously put him back, and now he's going to go and put himself in a corner.
And he's still in range of the lion. That's one of the few squares he could move to that still puts him in danger. But at least the lion won't be benefiting quite so much from the leap attack. I mean, it's interesting with teleport because it's 90%. Base casting chance, there is a temptation to feel you don't need to boost it. Getting the luck of the 50-50 draw there. There's a temptation to feel that you don't need to boost teleport, but I think if you really need to use it to get out of trouble, that 10 mana to take it up to 100% is well worthwhile. I mean, even 99% if you want to save yourself 1 mana.
Yeah, but I don't like treating 99% as 100% because there'll always be that 1%.
Yeah.
You just feel even more hard done by then.
Now, he is going to have to come up with a solution for this lion because it is now not possible for him to move out of range to it. So, he's got a 33% melee chance on the lion. I guess the other thing he could hope for is some sort of high agility undead unit that might sort of engage it and keep it from attacking him on the next round. Definitely think that the 1 minute turn timer is causing a certain amount of pressure because a lot of these actions we're seeing from both players are coming in right at the end of that countdown. All very unlucky to fail a magic bolt on a lion.
So that's one magic bolt failure each. Did he take a swipe at the lion yet?
He did take a swipe at the lion. I mean, the lion's magical defense is only 20. So, and it is actually over. So the question is, do we offer the guys best of 5 to give Ben the chance to learn from his defeats?
We got time.
We have.
Yeah, why not? Especially if Fozza wins the next one, then we'll wrap it up, I guess.
Fozza seems to really want to take his 2 wins and run.
Quit while you're ahead. Well, who can blame him? Fozza starting with some rats. It's always a good opening spell.
Yeah. And I think it always, one of the things that really, I think, provides a huge advantage or disadvantage in classic mode is whether or not you get any kind of strategic, structural spells. Because it's, when you're playing sort of a single player or equipped matches, you can generally make sure that you have something like Gooey Blob or Magic Wood or something bound to your staff. But actually with classic mode, because the draw of cards is completely random at the moment, you can find yourself in a situation where you only have creature cards. And if your opponent has something that can change the layout of the arena, actually it's a huge advantage, much more so I think than any particular set of creatures that you may or may not get.
Yeah, I was just taking a look at their mega spells there. Fozza has the magic onslaught, and Ben has the bow.
Okay.
His mega spell. So that's worked out quite good that they're both kind of it's a direct attack / utility kind of thing.
Yeah, obviously I often choose it for my staff anyway. I think I would favour the divine bow over the magic attack onslaught because the percentage of it is very high, but actually you have that double whammy of both the casting chance and then the attack chance on individual creatures. Whereas I suppose the bow is the same in the sense that every time you take a shot at an enemy creature, there's that percentage. But I think you can you get lots of chances to hit with the divine bow. Whereas something like Magic Onslaught is very much a one shot. Okay, so Foz now has 6 rats in play.
So there's a lot of rats for that poor elf to deal with.
Yeah, it's a bit overwhelming, but it's going to be interesting with the turn timer. Foz, well, he's got 1 less now, but Foz effectively now has 5 units that he has to manoeuvre during the course of his turn, as well as deciding on casting and wizard placement. It'd be interesting to see if that works against him in this 1 minute mode. Do you know, I've noticed something on the scenery I've never noticed before?
Oh yeah.
The chaos sort of glyph logo, the sort of ornate O, is etched into the top of the pillars.
Oh yeah.
Has that always been there?
Yeah, this. Yeah, I don't know. That's the first time I've seen it as well.
Because there's a little slate leaning up against two of the pillars over by one side that also has it on. And I'm feeling like it looks quite recent, but
No, we probably just haven't been paying attention.
no, probably not.
Oh, so Ben already on the back foot.
Oh, it's harsh. Well,
I don't think it's just a case of Ben is, a bit inexperienced. He's just had some real rotten luck as well.
yeah, I think if he's just failed Magic Attack Justice, then Magic Attack Justice has a pretty good chance against rats. Ben's going to be facing.
Well, he just failed a 75% attack against that rat as well.
Yeah. Ben's going to be facing 20%, 11 to 20% nibbles from rats, which isn't a lot. But if you're surrounded by them, it's the twitching of the engaged rats that's particularly entertaining. Oh, and there's that 20%. Best of 7? No. Well, I think it couldn't really have gone any other way. I think, and I know you're saying that it's not it's not just Ben's inexperience, but I think there were a number of key things there throughout the rounds that I think just demonstrated how much we take for advantage, perhaps, the experience we've had playing this game since the early prototypes.
Yeah, well, I suppose we better speak to the loser
Absolutely.
first. So, I'll add Ben to the call. I just feel so sorry for him. Hello, Ben.
Hello.
What? Well, I would say what happened, but to be honest,
The gods of chance
we saw-
and suckiness.
you were so unlucky. I mean,
I'm always unlucky when I play this game.
Well, I think the luck comes and goes. Let's not forget that in round 2, you survived what was probably a 75 or 80% chance magic bolt.
Okay.
So these things do come and go, but there were some interesting things we wanted to just pick up in that match. We have obviously been talking and speculating a little bit about obviously your comparative lack of experience in comparison to Fozza.
Aye.
Were you unaware of the rules surrounding the illusions on the giants?
I know you can disbelieve them, sorta.
Yes. No, we were just surprised that when Foz brought out the 2 giants and one of them was hit and revealed to be an illusion, that you didn't disbelieve the other giant.
Oh, right, okay, yes, I was unaware of that then.
Oh, okay, that's what we were speculating. There were a few things there that
Showing my noobishness off.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's it's a game.
I came into this saying this is Chaos Noobs.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as well you were slightly caught out there. It's slightly sneaky that the lion, as a ground unit, can actually jump off ledges.
Oh, can it?
Yeah, so there was a lot of time there where you were standing down in the canyon and the lion was up on the high ground. It had about a 60% chance to hit on you. For quite a few rounds. So the lion is one to watch out for.
That as well, because I don't think he even tried attacking to do with it.
I think you got lucky. I think you put that goblin in place, which stopped the lion effectively being able to jump down on you.
Right. Is Fozz not joining us, by the way, or is he coming in later?
We'll do that in a minute. So how did you? I mean, obviously, other than the harshness of being taken out by a rat, how did you feel the game went?
Oh, it sucked and I sucked, and that was fine. It was fun.
Is there anything? I mean, has it been sort of a learning opportunity? Have there been things that have come up in those rounds that you'll take away and think, well, I'll know not to do that another time, or do you think did nothing like that really come up for you?
I think I was too busy thinking WTF. Possibly followed by why the hell did that 90% chance thing fail?
Oh yeah,
How
the teleport
dare it?
failure.
Yeah, teleport failure was harsh.
But yeah, that's all. It's all good fun, and that's one of the things I like actually about Chaos is you can have a 10% chance to attack somebody and kill them, and you might as well take it.
Absolutely.
And I like that, even though it sort of is a pain sometimes.
Yeah. I tell you what, I killed Oz the other night with a 6% rat, so I'm not complaining.
I've killed wizards with my rats as well, so it does happen.
Yeah. Have you been
As
playing?
we proved tonight.
Yeah. Have you been playing much multiplayer? Have you been currently playing the sort of single player so far?
I've probably been playing neither.
Okay.
I've played a little bit of the single player, and then basically got myself backed into a corner where on one of the maps where it's basically me by myself, and I've got to try and take down a wizard and his 7 allies. And
Yeah.
I walked into that match, and I just like, okay, I'm dead, and I'm dead again.
Yeah. Are you doing the level 1 realm?
I have no idea what realm I'm doing.
Because for some odd reason, the level 1 realm is really hard. And we don't know why. Julian's actually apparently had it mentioned to him that the level 1 realm is really hard. The level 3 one's actually not nearly as difficult.
Okay, I don't know what it is. It's just basically, I know that I'm going off, and I've taken out all the sub wizards, and then I'm going off to take the big bad. I think it is, and the big bad has got 5 or 6 allies.
Yeah, he gets a lot of allies very quickly.
I have nothing.
Yeah, harsh.
Yeah.
Should we add Foz to the call?
Let's bring him in.
You don't think he's gonna, be a bad winner, do you? And
He's going to teabag me, isn't he?
Yeah. I would almost be certain he's a bad winner.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Booyah! Oh yeah!
I will get my own back later in CQC, Fozza, don't worry.
Yeah. So no sense, Foz, us asking how you felt about that match.
Oh, sorry. What? I was too busy doing a dance. Yeah, that's the most fun I've had in Chaos in a long, long time. No, I couldn't believe actually how unlucky Ben was for so many of those matches. Yeah, normally that's me. Normally I'm the one who can't cast a rat to save his life, you know?
Yeah, totally. And so how did you guys find the 1 minute turn timer?
Actually, I didn't find it too bad, apart from the fact that the end turn button for some reason didn't seem to want to work for a few occasions. So I had to just let it run down.
Okay.
But I was definitely conscious of it when I had all those rats on the board, because I thought, shit, I'm not sure if I'm going to actually be able to move these things and the wizard and cast my spell in time. So, yeah, I was kind of thinking well enough ahead as to what I was actually doing. But yeah, I was quite surprised in the end when the guy actually got taken out by a rat.
Yeah. Ben, how did you find the 1 minute timer? Was it a bit of pressure?
Not really, no.
No?
But then again, I was failing casting everything, so all I had to worry about was myself.
Yeah. Were you generally trying to pick the highest percentage cards that you had in your hand, or were you trying for some other things?
I usually try to get a thing that lets me be a bit more mobile than just my wizard. So I'll try and get a unicorn or an elephant or something like that out.
Yeah.
Just to increase my mobility while I'm running to get some mana. And then once I've got that, then something that's maybe doing a bit of range attack to try to get some defense going.
Yeah, totally.
So you were having all that bad luck, Ben, with spells. You weren't tempted to resort to an illusion to make sure that you got something?
I wasn't, I have to admit.
No, I don't believe in illusions either.
Really? See, there was no, There was no fooling John Fozzer. I was convinced that I didn't realise that your mega spell could actually be done as an illusion. Although now I think about it, I think we've had this conversation before. So you'd have fooled me, but there's no
Well, in
pulling
fairness,
John's eyes.
I think that was the only time I thought I might sort of try and play on Ben's noobness. Although by the sounds of it, sounds like the sort of the realms that he's been playing, he's actually got further into realms than I have. But I thought maybe he wasn't aware that the mega spells could be disbelieved, and then when he blew up one of my giant, which obviously said it was a disbelief, said it was an illusion, and then didn't disbelieve the next one, I was doing a dance of giant joy. I was singing to myself, "I'm going to hit you on the head. I'm going to hit you on the head with a big rock. Big rock. Going to hit you on the head." Yeah, and then you spiked it with a unicorn, and it popped like a balloon. I was very, very upset.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although in fairness, you did manage to dodge my my magic bolt going across the cavern.
Yeah,
I thought that
you
was an
dodged
exceptionally sneaky. Well, yeah, I thought that was quite a sneaky attack, but to no avail, unfortunately.
That was pretty good, actually. I mean, we were that range across that chasm is very deceptive. I think John and I were both surprised when that magic bolt came across.
Yeah, it wasn't helped because with the angle I had on it, it was from behind, so it was kind of hard to judge the distance on the chasm. And I just saw this magic bolt, and I was like, "Oh, nice!" But then to not see it kill Ben, I was like, "Oh, Ben's dodged a bullet there." Maybe that makes up for the fact he failed 2 spells at the beginning of the.
Yeah,
That seems fair.
But yeah, interesting. I was briefly listening into the stream, and the stuff you were saying about the lion. I didn't know that. I did not know that the lion.
What were they saying about about the pouncy thing?
Yeah, about the pounce of the lion. I didn't realise that at all.
okay.
Yeah.
But once they told
You'd have
me,
at
I
least
was really
known he
desperate to
was
give
in
it a go.
range. You'd have at least known he was in range, though, because if you click the lion.
Oh yeah, I was
Yes.
going to go after him, but I didn't realise I get such a big bump in terms of.
Right.
'Cause obviously,
Yeah,
you get your standard, height attack increase, but I didn't check the stats to see how much that had actually increased until Jarvis mentioned it. Or was it you? Either way, but after that, I was desperate to try and jump on him.
I bet you were, Chris. I was on the Twitch chat, but I had all the volume turned down, and the screen was covered over by my Skype window, so I could just see the chat channel.
No,
No.
I was.
No,
I
it
was,
is always
You were
worth
cheating,
looking
weren't
at
you,
those,
Chris?
I was listening in. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is always worth looking at those creature cards, I think, and looking at some of those, because quite a lot of the creatures have odd little extra buffs for certain things. Because the elephant has a charge ability, which I think gives it an attack boost if it's attacking from sort of running in,
Okay.
Okay.
as opposed to just standing still and sort of attacking from a spot. So it's worth, these things, these odd little things can tilt a match in your favour.
Cool.
Well.
Yes, well, thanks very much for joining us, guys, and entertaining us.
However briefly.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I think if people want to stay with, is it all of us? Are we all doing it?
I believe so.
I think so. Okay. So away from the Chaos Champs channel, in a few moments, once we get our act together, a group of us from Lave Radio will be streaming Pulsar: The Lost Colony. And for a lot of us, it will be our first experience of playing this game, which is essentially a sort of Star Trek bridge simulator. Only I think probably with more slapstick. I'm not sure.
There'll be a lot of slapstick involved.
Galaxy
Not sure
Quest
if I was
Space
gonna
Simulator.
Yeah. So if you're currently already watching this show on the Lave Radio channel, stick with us, and we'll be back in a moment with Pulsar. If you're watching us on Chaos Champs, then either do head over to Lave Radio and check out that broadcast, or maybe I don't know. Should we switch the hosting over on the Chaos Champs channel?
We can
Let's
do.
do. Yeah, let's do it. So stick with us, and we'll be back in a moment with oddness.
Okay, guys. Well, thanks very much, and I will hang up the call, and I will give people the outro.